Yeah, I hope that you hearing me. This is the future, all about cybersecurity. Talking about the hackers, I'm just trying to warn you. From the one and only legend, the Cyber Informer. Hey, yeah, this is the Cyber Reformer. This is the Cyber Reformer. Let's go.
It's time for the Cybersecurity Business Connect and Protect Central Coast Q&A video. I'm Michael Tremblett at cyber_informer on Twitter, and today we'll be talking secure messaging apps. In celebration of Cybersecurity Awareness Month, we want to make sure your privacy is maintained on the internet. In this video, we'll talk about a number of secure messaging apps, and I'll show you my favourite. Let's go. The question, how do I send messages securely on the internet, comes up from time to time. Text messages are not secure. They can be read by anyone in between your phone and the receiver's phone. As a result, if you want to send private messages to people, you need a secure messaging app. There are several end-to-end encrypted technologies. Facebook WhatsApp is the most well-known, but is it the best? Let's find out. Before we move on, we talked about the pillars of security in the informational video on cybersecurity.loyalit.com.au called Modus Operandi of the Cyber Attack. I introduced the CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Whilst availability is important when we're talking secure messaging apps, we need to concentrate on confidentiality and integrity. This will be important to remember for later in this video. These are the big 5 secure messaging apps. Top left is Signal. Bottom left is WhatsApp. Top right is Facebook Messenger. Bottom right is Threema. In the middle is Telegram. Note that these are all secure messaging solutions which replace text messaging. They all have the features of text messaging like group messaging, attachments such as photos and videos, and secure voice and video calling. Each proclaims secure messaging. So what's the difference? If you've watched other videos where I've compared products, such as the video in the Academy asking the question which password manager should I use, then you'll know I'm a big fan of open source software. Open source software allows anyone to view the code that makes up the app. This is important because anyone can vet the software and verify its claims if you know enough about programming. This means security experts can review the code at their leisure and point out faults in the design, encryption, or claims to privacy. I prefer open source over closed source every day of the week. So which of our top 5 pass the open source test? Straight away we eliminate Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. Both of these products are closed source and run by Facebook. WhatsApp shares some of your data with Facebook, which enables Facebook's business customers to message you on WhatsApp. And some of those messages won't be end-to-end encrypted, which gets us back to the text message situation where anyone can read the messages. This change in WhatsApp's policy triggered a mass exodus from the platform in early 2021 to one of our other top 5 products, Signal. Now we're down to 3. Signal, Telegram, and Threema. Let's eliminate 1. Signal versus Telegram. Thanks to Tom's guide for this helpful comparison. When we look at the features of both these products, we get a clearer picture of which one is better. Signal uses a simple authenticated encryption system, a well-documented, known strong encryption system, whereas Telegram uses MT Proto, which uses a custom wrapper that, through a series of odd choices, doesn't qualify as authenticated encryption or ciphertext indistinguishability. Both are different standards and as good as each other. Although there are no known plaintext recovery attacks in MT Proto yet, those properties could well lead to theoretical or practical attacks. This alone is my greatest concern with Telegram, but let's look at the other features. Data collected. Signal just collects phone numbers, where Telegram collects phone numbers, contacts, and IP addresses. Remember, the purpose of secure messaging is to be as anonymous and confidential as possible. Telegram loses this comparison. Messaging types. Both support individual, group, video, and voice. However, Telegram also allows you to subscribe to channels. Telegram wins the messaging types section. Self-destruct messaging was made popular by Snapchat and has been rolled into many of these products. Signal supports it for all chats and Telegram only for secret chats. Signal wins this section. Customization. Signal is limited and Telegram offers many customization features. Big deal. We want security, not customization. However, Telegram wins on the customization feature. Both are free apps. Considering we are after the most secure messaging app, Signal wins, eliminating Telegram. Signal versus Threema. Signal and Threema use different but industry-standard encryption protocols. You would really have to split hairs to see any difference. For all intents and purposes here, it's a dead heat. Data collected. This is where I have the biggest issue between Signal and Threema. Signal, you must link your account to a mobile number, whereas linking a phone number in Threema is optional. Threema wins this feature. Messaging types. Both offer individual, group, video and voice, but Threema offers channels. Not a big deal, but it wins over Signal. Self-destruct messaging. If you like the feature where messages are deleted automatically, you can set that option in Signal. Threema doesn't have this feature. The reason they don't have this feature is, and I'm reading from a statement from Threema, depending on the operating system, the content of a message can still be accessed in the operating system's notification log after the message has been deleted in the app. This leads to a false sense of security. As a result of this, Threema will not be implementing this feature. It seems like a small percentage chance that the message will be recoverable after it was deleted, but if you want this feature, Signal wins. Customization is limited for each. You can change the profile images, notification sounds and background settings on each. That's about it. This is a tie. Cost is one of the biggest barriers to entry. Signal is free, but Threema costs $6 Australian. It seems if you want people to adopt your product, you need to make it free. The business model of Signal relies on donations and Threema on purchases. Both Signal and Threema were designed with security and privacy in mind. Signal enjoys an outstanding reputation among experts and is certainly a solid solution in terms of security. As far as privacy is concerned, however, a striking drawback appears when compared to Threema, where you must provide a phone number. For the really security conscious, this is a deal breaker, and the $6 for Threema is worth the extra security. Both have their pros and cons. Threema is just in front of Signal because you don't have to provide a phone number. But I only have one friend who uses Threema. Everyone else is on Signal, so I use both, and I am comfortable and wary of the drawbacks of each. Let's have a look at how each of these work. This part of the demonstration assumes that you already have Signal and Threema installed on your iPhone or Android device. When you open up Signal for the first time, you'll be prompted with this screen. Press Continue. Press Allow Permissions. Now you must enter your phone number so you can receive a text message to enter in a verification code. Confirm the number by pressing Yes. Enter the verification code that's sent to your phone. Once confirmed, enter in your first and last name, or any name you feel like. Then tap Save. You'll now be prompted to create a PIN. It cannot be a basic PIN, so you need to have a think about what type of PIN you want to put in. My 4 ones was not good enough. So 8721 it is. Once that's done, you're now set up and ready to go. Let's have a look at my Android phone. Because I already have my phone number already stored in my contacts, I can just search for me, tap on the name. Now I can enter a message to send to the Cyber Informer. As you can see, it sends almost immediately. Because my name's already in my address book, I can see who's sent the message. This will be the name that you entered in when you set up your account on Signal. To see your message history, just tap on the name. This follows the same paradigm as text messaging, so everyone should be pretty familiar with it. This is where integrity in the CIA triad comes into it. You want to be sure that whoever claims to have sent the message is actually the person who sent the message, and you do that by the safety numbers. Tap on the person's name, then tap on View Safety Number. That number will be the same between those 2 contacts only. So Cyber Informer sending to Michael Tremblett will have exactly the same number on both phones. If that number changes, it means that the message has been intercepted or another device is being used to send that message. When you can confirm the number is exactly the same, you would mark them as verified. If you can't do that visually, just by looking at the phones, you can tap on the scan button and scan the QR code. It will then tell you whether the safety number is verified or not. Now that it's verified, we'll tap on the button on both phones to say Mark as verified. When we go back to the list of conversations that we've had, we'll see verified with a tick next to each of the names at the top of the screen. In the message conversation, we can see that we marked it as verified, so any messages that we send after that point we know have absolutely come from that person. Now we have confidentiality and integrity of the message. This means that the conversations are private and you can be 100% sure that the message that you've received was sent from the person you expected it to be sent from. This is different to text messaging because text messaging can be intercepted and the sender can be spoofed. So you get no confidentiality and no integrity of message just in normal text messaging. One final point, I'll demonstrate disappearing messages. From within the message log, press on the contact name. Tap on Disappearing Messages. Now tap on how long you want the message to be available for before it disappears. We'll select a custom time and set it to 10 seconds. Now let's see what happens when we send a message. Note we can see on both phones that disappearing messages are set to 10 seconds. Both contacts get the notification. Once the message is sent, you can see the little clock is counting down. When it gets to 0, the message will disappear. Gone. Just like that. Now that we've seen Signal, let's have a look at Threema. When we open up Threema for the first time, we accept the privacy policy, then tap on Set up Threema. This generates a secure key for you, so you move your finger around randomly on the screen and it will create your Threema ID. After a moment it generates your Threema ID. This will be tied to your account. Tap the arrow to go next. Enter in a nice strong password to secure your account. Do as I say, don't do as I do. All ones is not secure. Hopefully you won't see this prompt because your password will be nice and secure. In this instance, I'll just press on continue anyway. Now we enter the name on which you want to be known by on Threema. Then tap the next button. Now this is important. We don't have to enter a mobile number, so we'll just tap on the next button. We can choose to sync contacts into Threema. I don't want to do that. Next. We get notification saying that we didn't enter a mobile number, so our communications will be absolutely anonymous. We'll press yes, then finish. We will see one contact called Echo Test. This is a test to make sure you can send messages to and from the Threema server. Notice it has a red dot next to it. We'll see what that means very shortly. When we tap on My Profile, we can see our Threema IDs. Just like Signal, we need to verify the Threema ID to ensure confidentiality and integrity of the message being received. To do that, we can go to Chats, then Start Chat, then tap New Contact. You can either enter the Threema ID or you can scan the ID. Let's scan the ID. We'll bring up the QR code so we can scan it. This adds it into your contact list. But because it's anonymous, it doesn't bring up a name. That leaves it over to you to add a name to the contact. Note the ID number is the same on both phones, so you know that that contact is going to receive any communications. And you can see the Threema ID has 3 green dots next to it. The 3 green dots is the equivalent to the verified checkmark in Signal. Let's give this contact a name. Tap on the ID and then tap on the Edit button. Enter in the desired name, then tap OK. Let's see what the 3 dots mean. In this case, we have 3 green dots, so if we hit the information button, we can now see what the various levels are. The 3 green dots means the contact whose identity and public key you have personally verified by scanning their QR code. 2 orange dots mean contact whose phone number and or email address is contained in your address book. The single red dot means it's an unknown contact. Either this contact did not link a phone number nor an email address to their ID, or your address book does not contain these contact details. When compared to Signal, Threema gives you a little bit more information about the status of each contact. Now we know all of that, let's send a message. It's pretty standard stuff. Looks exactly like text messaging and like Signal. You even get the notification that your contact is writing a message to you. Now that there's been two-way conversation, the profile images will update on each phone. Now we'll go ahead and verify the left phone with the right phone. Note the new contact on the left has the single red dot next to it, but our verified one on the right hand side has the 3 green dots. Let's verify the contact on the left with the QR code of the account on the right. Open the profile and display the QR code. On the unverified account, tap on the contact, then on the Scan QR button in the top right. Scan the QR code. You can now see the contact is verified. Like Signal, if the phone changes or the message is intercepted, the green dots will become a single red dot, along with a pop-up warning to tell you that it may not be secure anymore. If that happens, you will need to re-verify using the QR code. And that concludes our demonstration of Signal and Threema. Go out and choose your favourite and get your friends and family on it as well. What did we learn? If you want privacy and integrity in your communications, choose the right app. Signal and Threema are the best, but they both have pros and cons. Signal is more popular, but arguably, Threema is more privacy conscious. I like them both, I'm just a little more wary of Signal. Thank you for joining me for a look at secure messaging apps. Signal and Threema are both quality products. If you have conversations via messaging systems you would prefer to be absolutely private, you must use one of these apps. Don't forget you can contact me via email, Instagram, Facebook or Twitter. Also check out the podcast. Visit loyalit.com.au/podcast. Until next time, stay safe online.
Oh yeah, this is the Cyber Informer. Hackers, you going down like, oh yeah, this is the Cyber Informer. Hackers, you going down, yeah.